Hello, good morning, and thank you for tuning in to the O'Rourke Report. Let's jump right into it, shall we? We're going to jump right into it with Beverly Hills. And this week really demonstrates that this cast is split right down the middle, and you've got power on both sides. By power, I mean people who can effectively argue and thereby shut down whatever the other side is trying to come at them for. The formula with the housewives, it's getting a little long in the tooth, as they say. The formula is this dividing of the cast. There's always somebody every year that everybody is going after. And that person is either able to get people on their side, or which we're seeing, well, I'm getting ahead of myself, are able to get people on their side and help them fight the battle, or they are just blasted out of the water like we saw this week in Salt Lake City with Brittany, who was caught taping the ladies, and boy oh boy, she'll die on that hill that she wasn't doing it, but she did do it. But I'm getting ahead. With Beverly Hills, I've gone on about Boz St. John. I think that she has got an intelligence that the other women don't have, and lucky Dorit, because Boz is on her side. Now, Dorit, as we all have been seeing, she's decided to come out swinging this year. She's no longer going to put up with people kind of ridiculing her in a way, or dismissing her in a way, or not giving her the gravitas that she absolutely convinced that she needs. And this is, I feel sorry for Dorit in a way, because she's totally unaware of why people might dismiss her, uh, you know, 10-hour explanations of things that all revolve around me, how I feel about me, and oh, by the way, what do you think about me? Dorit has got a profound inability to read the room. She can't read, she does not see how her stuff lands. And she's not reading other people's reactions. And the reason I think for that is because her level, I'm going to say narcissism. I may be wrong on that term with her, because I always think of narcissists as kind of malevolent, selfish people. And I don't think Dorit's malevolent, and I don't think she's selfish. She just is Dorit-centric. And I'm like that too. So the thing I love about reality television, let me just give you a little side note here. The reason I gravitated towards this is now 25 years that reality television has been a big thing on TV. And the reason for that is, and I'm wondering if any of you feel the same, I have learned so much from watching other people be people. I'm able to say, or at least I've always said as I watch, especially if somebody's behaving badly, or not getting it, or not listening, or not reading the room like Dorit, I always say to myself, gee, do I do that? And then I try to, look at myself and say, well, yeah, I could do with some improvement there. And I think, I don't know if reality television is what I credit, or maybe just growing up is what I credit, but I have found reality television to be a fantastic teaching tool for people who really want to reflect on others' behavior, and see if it applies to them, and if there are any changes that they can make in their lives. That's been my big, that's one of the reasons I'm really a big fan of reality television. I'm not so much a fan of reality television if it's really formulaic, and at this point the housewives are formulaic. There's not many breaking out of the mold and being something unique and different. Yeah, you can wear a hot dog costume like Bronwyn on on Salt Lake, but you're still kowtowing to the formula, and the formula is, you know, we'll go into that. I got off the subject completely of Dorit and Beverly Hills. Basically, that's the only story that's going on in Beverly Hills right now. Uh, Kyle is finally coming under some scrutiny and some heat, and the other ladies, decided to, well, it was always going to happen. See, they all banded together to take LVP down. How many years ago was that now? It's got to be, it feels like it's 10 years ago. But they banded together to take her down, and they were thick as thieves afterwards, because the last thing that they could do was show a fracture in their cohesiveness, because they had to protect each other for the things that they did against Lisa Vanderpump. Well, like I said, about 10 years have passed since then. Feels like 10 years. I don't know how long it's actually been. And now the cracks are starting to show. So in a way that's interesting, because, you know, thick as thieves, yes, but thieves have falling out. And I think we're seeing a little bit of that this year. But Dorit, with her problems and her feeling blindsided, she feels blindsided all the time because she's not able to read the room. She doesn't know when she's gone on and on about herself and her feelings and how she feels about something, and people just don't give a rip. Don't care. So anyway, that's all I have in Beverly Hills. I mean, what else have we seen? We haven't really seen much except the dividing up of the lines. The other thing that's interesting for me to watch in Beverly Hills right now, and I will tell you, is how Garcelle is reacting to Boz. And does Garcelle feel threatened by Boz? You know, Garcelle's not taking any chances. Garcelle will poke every single one of the other ladies because she knows she can, and she'll get away with it. She's not poking Boz because she's afraid that she's not going to be able to out talk Boz, and she probably isn't, from the little bit I've been seeing. Okay, enough of that. Let's go on. Next, I'm going to leave Salt Lake and the real estate show and the two Southerns. Well, maybe I will go into them. Okay. Let's talk about RHONY. Don't care. Do not care. Gee, that was quick, wasn't it? I don't care. The latest, remember I said last week how icky Jenna Lyons can appear. They had I'm not even going to go into it now. It was too disgusting, and it added to her icky factor. I'm not going to go into it. So anyway, RHONY, it's not happening, not happening. And please do not bring back Ramona. Do not bring back any of the old cast. That's not the answer. You're going to have to get rid of one or two of them and put somebody else in there. Just my opinion. Andy's smart. He always figures these things out. The other thing I want to talk about is, let's go on to Salt Lake. Okay, Salt Lake, we continued with the trip to Puerto Vallarta, and the ladies once again are in a Sprinter van. And Salt Lake, as we all remember, as we all recall, originated the Sprinter van drama. And the drama that happens in this one is Angie catches Brittany. You know, Brittany is the one with the high body count hair who's going out with an Osmond. And I think she is a celebrity in the Utah world. And her celebrity is never translated out any other place except Utah. So she's got a very... Brittany has got a very high opinion of herself and what people should think about her based upon, I don't know, is she a child singing star or something? There's something about her background that makes Brittany feel that she is a star. Unlike all the evidence to the contrary. So anyway, Angie on the Sprinter van discovers Brittany is taping a fight. The women are all fighting about something. Forget what the fight is. Who cares? But she's taping it. Well, the women explode because we remember last year they had that mole in their midst for Reality Von Teese, who was posing as a housewife, but she was really in the background. She was the host of this reality burner show that was dropping the dime on all this insider information on the housewives. Was obsessed with the housewives. Used to drive past Jen Shaw's house with doing a selfie, like, "Oh, look at me! There's Jen Shaw's house." Ugh. So anyway, after last year when they discovered this Monica Garcia was really the person behind this burner account who had been making their lives miserable for the last couple of years, these ladies are really gun shy on any rats in the mist. Well, sure enough, Brittany gets caught. And she decides she is going to lie. Oh, I was just trying to fiddle this and I was trying to FaceTime my daughter. She got an A on her math test. The women ain't having it and they blast her. They band together and they blast her. Even Bronwyn was in with all the OGs, and Angie, of course, is the one who found her doing it. And it got so bad that and Brittany finally figures out she's not going to get out of this. The women are not going to cut her any slack. She can't get anybody to get on her side and believe her BS about why she was holding her phone up with the camera pointed to the back of the seat in front of her. She was just recording the audio. So it gets so bad that I don't know if the driver decided to pull over, or, if you've ever been to Mexico, and you're taking a bus, there'll always be certain, roadside stands they'll pull over to because the driver's got some kind of agreement with the owner of the roadside stand, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, they pull over to this roadside stand. Brittany dashes out of the Sprinter, sits down under a tree and starts hyperventilating. And the women, to their credit, feel very bad that Brittany is obviously having a real breakdown over this. It's one thing to feel justified when you caught somebody being a rat. It's another thing to see the rat collapse and break down, which is, what they're seeing. So Whitney goes out. She tries to comfort her. She's still trying. Then Brittany, did I say Whitney? Whitney goes out to try to comfort Brittany. Brittany sticks to her guns with her hitching talk that she would never do anything like that. Well, yeah, you did. You got caught. It just, shut it down. So basically, as I recall, is that the only thing that happened on Lisa Barlow? Oh man, love the meeting. Jennifer shuts at Jen. Okay, Matt loves a stripper. Oh no, that's the sold in SLC. Sprinter Mayhem. Have minute. Oh God, Meredith Marks. The only thing missing was security. Take this woman out. She was on her. Oh my God. She saw that horse coming up. She got up on top of that horse and she rode it into the sunset. Bronwyn. At one point, Bronwyn was the voice of reason. I forget what she was the voice of reason about. And then, of course, we haven't seen a lot of Heather Gay this season. She's been laying very low, but she was really cute at one point. Meredith Marks is convinced there are listening devices in her suite because Brittany heard her crying and throwing up, which Meredith denies that she was crying and throwing up, then admits she was crying, and then says she wasn't throwing up, she was coughing. And perhaps that's what Brittany was hearing. So anyway, she enlists Heather to help her, scan her suite for listening devices. And they didn't find any, but Heather was so happy that Meredith was coming to her for help. Thought it was cute. You forget why you like Heather so much, but I do. I like Heather so much, and so she was a lot of fun to watch. Okay, one more thing sold in Salt Lake City. We find out the whole big story is somebody, boy, and I think that this was really shitty. I thought this was really crappy. One of them has a party. She invites a friend, and the friend is whispering to the hostess that, my sisters are strippers, right? Well, evidently she's got. There's 4 sisters, 3 of which are strippers. And the hostess goes, yeah, I knew that. Well, Matt goes into whatever the stripper palace is. The who used to call that a mammary mecca? I think that was the New York Post. Used to have great names for strip places. A mammary mecca. And so the whole goal is to embarrass this Matt. But what it really does is it crushes Matt's wife. I have Chloe, who's decided to Chloe, little Miss Clo, say hello to the people. Come on, Chloe Marie, you get down. It crushes the wife. That's not fun to watch. In fact, anybody who does that, I always say this: if you've got bad news about somebody, if somebody's telling you something, negative about someone else, the last thing I would want to do is run and tell that other person. Because the only thing that's going to happen, you think, because these are shallow thinkers, they think, oh, they're going to get the other person in trouble. Well, no, what you're going to do is you're going to hurt that person you're telling. So the collateral damage in this, exposing Matt as going to strip clubs. I mean, you try that with Married to Medicine, or I'm trying to think Atlanta. All the men all go to strip clubs all the time, and the wives are, okay, he goes to strip clubs. And I don't know. Well, I don't know. Well, I think it's a difference between a Mormon and somebody in Atlanta. Yeah, as simple as that. So anyway, crushing the wife, not fun to watch. The hostess who allowed it to happen, she knew that girl was going to tell her some dirt. She already knew it before she got there. My sisters are strippers, right? Kind of off. Didn't like it one bit. And it then gave fuel to some other cast members who wanted to go after Matt. Okay, great. I said the same thing about the real estate show, the new one on Netflix, Selling the City. Real estate shows, to me, are great for 2 reasons. And this is why that Selling the Hamptons was so good. You get to see these great houses, and which is always, I just love how the other half lives, or how the 1% live. You get to see these great houses, and the thing I loved about the Hamptons ones, the back office drama was all over sales. Who was beating who? Now, I was in sales for 25 years, and I will guarantee I'm speaking for everybody who was in the company. When the daily numbers came out, it was like the racing forms that come out. You grab them, you want to see who you're beating, because that's your goal. You want, there's somebody you want to beat internally in your company, and you want to nail it, and you want to be up. If you're a salesperson, that's what you do. It's all about the numbers, hitting them, exceeding them, and beating other people in the office. That was me. The Salt Lake City one, this sold on Salt Lake City, is devolving into personal cat fights, which is what that Selling the City was as well. Got to change it. Okay. All right. Where are we? Very quickly, I'm going to go. I added a thing the last time we talked about banned phrases I never want to hear again. Just give you an update on what some of them were. I live, epic, amazing. Here are two more. Oh, this one. If I never hear it again, it'll be too soon. Obsessed. And serving it. Serving it I kind of like. I think that came out of like the drag community. So I'm going to give serving it a break because I do love the stuff that comes out of the drag community. But obsessed, I could do without. So anywho, that's all I have for today. And so I am going to, oh, I didn't talk about this, did I? If you like what you're seeing and you want to have me show up in your YouTube feed so you don't miss another one, hit the subscribe button, beep, 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 and hit the like button, beep, just hit that real, beep, and it'll work. Hit subscribe, hit like. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I love doing this stuff. And I will look forward to seeing you next time here on the O'Rourke Report.